Galileo Galilei was a mathematician, physicist, philosopher, and astronomer. He is often considered the father of modern science.
Galileo was the one who really put together the principles of experiment, theory, and mathematics together into a common framework.
Probably more than anyone else, Galileo was really the person responsible for developing modern astronomy.
Galileo was born in Pisa, Italy in 1564. He was educated in a Jesuit monastery before he studied medicine at the University of Pisa. Galileo first gained fame when he discovered what is now called the law of the pendulum.
One day in the cathedral, he was watching the lamps that were hanging from the ceiling and saw them swaying back and forth, and started thinking about the nature of a pendulum.
He found that the amplitude of the swing doesn't matter, but the length of the pendulum does. And this became the genesis of regulation of clocks, for which he became instantly famous.
Galileo also gained fame by supposedly using the Leaning Tower of Pisa to prove the law of constant acceleration.
It's said that Galileo dropped 2 steel balls of different masses but the same material from the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and they landed at the same time, in contrast to what Aristotle would have predicted.
What's important about this is not only the result, but the fact that he ushered in this new method of doing science, where you conduct an experiment to test a hypothesis. He showed that you have to do more than just think something's true, you have to prove it.
In 1609, Galileo heard about a telescope built by a Dutch eyeglass maker. He soon built his own, 32 times more powerful, and started studying the heavens.
When Galileo looked at Jupiter through a telescope, he discovered 4 tiny little lights that seemed to circle Jupiter. Those are what are now referred to as the Galilean moons.
This confirmed Copernicus's idea that celestial bodies rotate each other. He also looked at Venus and found that it had phases.
This discovery was revolutionary because it really proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that the Earth is not the center of the universe.
During his life, Galileo published his findings in several manuscripts. Most of these earned him the ire of the Catholic Church, which eventually labeled him a heretic. He was sentenced to house arrest for the last years of his life and died on January 8, 1642.
Galileo was really the father of Western science. Prior to his time, there really was not the same sensibility of experimental science.
Galileo is fundamentally responsible for what we know about the universe today.
Italian-born Galileo Galilei was an astronomer, physicist, mathematician and philosopher whose works changed the way society viewed nature's laws and origins, thus contributing to the scientific revolution. Early on, Galileo expressed interest in entering the priesthood, but was pressured by his father to pursue a career in medicine. After leaving the University of Pisa before graduating, Galileo began tutoring mathematics full-time. He was given a 3-year tenure at the University of Pisa. He moved to the University of Padua in 1592, where he taught geometry, mechanics and astronomy. Late in the 16th century, Galileo developed a geometric and military compass, used by surveyors and gunners. Galileo constructed a thermometer comprised of a sealed glass cylinder containing a number of objects inside a clear liquid. The varying densities of the objects caused them to rise or fall depending on changes in temperature. Though a practical telescope had been constructed in the year prior, in 1609 Galileo developed his own, eventually building a model around 30 times magnification. His findings were printed in Venice the following year, giving rise to tremendous speculation.
1, 2, 3, 4